What have you learned about how childhood experiences shape who we become as adults?
They're largely decisive. And this begins even before birth. So already the emotional states of the mother while carrying the baby will affect the child's brain development.
I just want to make sure that the person that's with us in this conversation
Yeah.
really gets this, because I
Yeah.
didn't first learn that your emotional state and your physical state when you're carrying the child
Yeah.
impacts the nervous system and development of the human being inside you. And it makes sense.
Well,
But can you explain more about that? Because this is an idea that was brand new to me just a couple of years ago.
sure. What we have to nail down first is we're not blaming mothers here. They do their best. We're talking about the stress is acting on the pregnant woman. That's no fault of her own. But speaking of stress, when people are stressed, they release stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. When the mother is stressed in pregnancy, those stress hormones go through the placenta, the umbilical cord to the baby. That affects the child's nervous system and his development. Cortisol has a huge impact on the development of important brain circuits. You can look at the heart rate of infants in the womb as it changes as the mother's more or less stressed. So these are just physiological facts. So there was a study done after 9/11, after the tragedy of 9/11, women who were pregnant then and who suffered post-traumatic stress disorder in the third trimester of pregnancy as a result of 9/11, their infants had abnormal stress hormone levels a year later. Now, abnormal stress hormone levels have an impact on brain development and on physiology, and physiological health as well. So you can expect those kids, unless something's done to correct it, to face more challenges later on. And we know that mothers who are stressed during pregnancy, depressed during pregnancy, their children are more likely to have ADHD, attention deficit disorder, or other mental health challenges. So it's just, now what's interesting here is Indigenous people have always known this. I was talking to a native group in British Columbia where I live, and this guy comes up to me and says, Doc, in our community, when a woman was pregnant, there was a rule that if you're stressed or upset, you were not permitted to go near them.